guys, it's Stock Curry, and today I've got 12 stock picks for you, including another short squeeze potential that has 9 days to cover. I also have 4 cryptocurrency picks for you, including one that ran up 25% today, so let's get into it! Alright, I don't have any market news for you guys today, so let's just get straight into our stock picks. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks on YouTube. Every day, I spend hours and hours and hours watching YouTube videos, and then I consolidate all of the stock picks from the top YouTubers and I put them together in a single video. I give you both the cliff notes on their stock picks as well as my analysis on their stock picks. Now, if anything I talk about today piques your interest, make sure you listen to who I say talked about that stock, and then go watch their video to get the full details on what they said. Now, all I ask for putting all of this together for you guys is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get into today's stock picks, I just want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just my opinions, which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any assets. For those of you who are wondering, you are currently looking at the Webull desktop app. Webull is the app that I use for my trading, and it is also the app that I use in all of my videos. If you'd like to get 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull is going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Alright, let's get into today's stock and crypto picks. And first up is ADA. This is Cardano. StockMo said ADA is a game changer. ADA has been on a massive run, and StockMo said ADA is his 3rd largest position. I will let you know that ADA is my largest crypto holding. I'm just holding long term. But if you want to play ADA short term, I would call this a hold right now, and I would consider selling around September 10th or 11th, in preparation for a buy the hype, sell the news event. Keep in mind that ADA is releasing smart contracts on September 12th. Next up is ETH. This is Ethereum. StockMo reiterated his $4,200 year-end price prediction on ETH. ETH is still maintaining momentum above the 21-day EMA, so I'm not concerned about the small pullback we're seeing right now. Next up is SHIB. This is Shiba Inu. I just wanted to let you know that Shiba Inu is currently in beta testing mode on Webull, and it will soon be available for trading on Webull. Once SHIB is officially released on Webull, that could cause the price of SHIB to rise. Next up is XTZ. This is Tezos. XTZ ran up over 25% on Wednesday before pulling back slightly. I asked Twitter why it ran up, and the responses I got were that XTZ released NFTs and that a Swiss firm tapped Tezos for a new token standard. I did notice that Tezos NFT and Tezos art were both popular hashtags on Twitter. I've been holding XTZ for some time now in my long-term portfolio, and I'm happy to see it running up again. I don't know if this recently found momentum will last, but it does look good for now. And unlike Cardano, which hit a new all-time high recently, XTZ still has another 72% to run up before it gets back to its all-time high of $8.39. Next up is BABA. This is Alibaba. They're the Chinese version of Amazon. StockMo said BABA is a value stock. The forward PE ratio is 17.41, which is low for a technology stock. BABA has not yet shown confirmation of a rebound. It remains below the 10-day EMA. And although the MACD is rising, it has not yet formed a golden cross. Technically, BABA is bearish and falling. If it does drop further, StockMo said he will dollar cost average into a larger position. That said, StockMo is correct that the PE ratio is low. StockMo thinks BABA will get back above $200 by the end of this year. Chris Zane also thinks BABA will rebound soon and start going back up. Next up is BTU. This is Peabody Energy Corp. They're a coal miner. Even though BTU has great momentum on the chart, this company is losing money. Jeremy with financial education looked into it due to the recent momentum, but has decided to stay away from it. because he does not believe in coal mining as a long-term investment. I think the reason BTU has run up so much so fast is due to inflation and the high cost of coal. Once the cost of coal goes down, I do believe BTU will also drop in price. Next up is CHPT. This is ChargePoint. They're the largest charging station company in North America with 73% of the total market share. They are also starting to expand globally. StockMo said CHPT is easily one of the best stocks to buy now. While there's no doubt that CHPT should perform well long term, quite a few of you asked me to review the short squeeze potential on this stock. So taking a look at Ortex, we can see that the utilization is currently at 92%. The days to cover is 5.25, which is actually the highest days to cover of all the stocks we've looked at in the past 2 weeks. There is another stock with 9 days to cover, and I will talk about that stock later in this video. Now the utilization on CHPT is not 100%, so there are still some shares left for short sellers to short. And we can see here on Fintel how there are 550,000 shares left to short as of the close on Wednesday. So in summary, CHPT has a very high short squeeze potential. Because the days to cover is 5.25, that means CHPT could rise as much as 525% during a one-day short squeeze. That means CHPT could rise as high as $116.75. But because there are still 500,000 shares available to borrow, it could still drop a little bit more over the next few days. I still see $19 as the floor on CHPT, and I like CHPT as both a short squeeze potential as well as a long-term growth stock. Next up is DDS. This is Dillard's. They're an American department store. Jeremy with financial education is amazed at the momentum on DDS. The forward PE ratio is only 9.58, which is low. Regardless, Jeremy said he's not interested in DDS because he doesn't believe in the business model. He does not think that general retail and department stores will do well long term. Next up is DKNG. This is DraftKings. They're an online sports betting company. StockMo said he is continuing to buy DraftKings. Chris Zane said you should consider taking profits if this is a short-term trade for you. Long-term, Chris Zane recommended continuing to hold. ARK Invest bought more DKNG on Tuesday in 3 of their ETFs. That is good if you like to follow what the large institutions are doing. By the way, this tool is called Lucid Tracking. It's still in beta testing right now, but I do have an invite link for it on my resources page. Now I also wanted to clarify something. I said in yesterday's video that StockMo gave an $80 one-year price target. He clarified today that his $80 price target is actually for the end of this year. Next up is DLTR. This is Dollar Tree. They're an American discount retail store. Larry Jones has been dollar cost averaging into DLTR. This is a long-term hold for him. DLTR should perform well as inflation rises and people seek out ways to save money. Next up is JWN. This is Nordstrom. They're an American apparel retailer. Jeremy with financial education likes JWN, but the stock got crushed today after they reported earnings. JWN beat earnings, but the revenue came in below 2019 levels. Analysts are concerned that Nordstrom's recovery pace is lagging behind its peers, and they are concerned about the overall business model JWN has with its vendors. Jeremy with financial education said he is just holding for now and will not be buying the dip. Next up is PDD. This is Pinduoduo. They're a Chinese agricultural-focused technology company. StockMo has been holding PDD long-term. The stock has been dropping a lot this year and was down over 50% from its 52-week highs. But on Tuesday, PDD rose over 20% as they reported their first quarterly net profits. That in turn caused ARK Invest to buy PDD for their ARKF portfolio. So is now a good time to buy? Well, for a long-term hold, I do think it is. In the short term, it's hard to say what PDD will do because the technicals are mixed. But for a long-term hold, I will give you a $100 buy-under price, an $80 ideal buy-in price, and a $70 stop-loss price. Next up is SNPR. This is a SPAC, and they're merging with Volta Charging, which is a manufacturer of EV charging stations. This is not to be confused with Volta Charger, which manufactures magnetic charging cables for phones. Volta Charging has over 1,500 charging stations nationwide, with another 1,100 contracted to be installed, and another 10,000 in the pipeline. Larry Jones said he has been adding on to his SNPR position. Now what's interesting to me is that this is a SPAC, so it has a $10 floor. It is very interesting to me that it dropped down to $8.57 on Tuesday. If you ever see a SPAC do that, that is drop below $10, then that is what's called an arbitrage situation. Arbitrage is when you can make guaranteed money. You typically see arbitrage with deep in the money options. Sometimes deep in the money options trade below their intrinsic value, which means you can buy that option and then immediately exercise that option for guaranteed profits. But we can also see arbitrage with SPACs. And because SPACs have a $10 floor, if you buy a SPAC at say $9, that means you could buy it at $9 and then immediately redeem those shares for $10, which means you would make a guaranteed 10% profit on your investment. And that's what happened with SNPR. It dropped down below $9 and then immediately rose back up to $10. And that's what Larry Jones did. His average cost is now $9.28. Larry Jones noticed that SNPR has been dropping below $10 during the pre-markets each day. So check SNPR during the pre-markets. If you see it below $10, you can buy it and sell it once it gets back above $10 later in the day or the next day. It's guaranteed profits for you. Now, if you want to know more about SNPR as a company, then I recommend you go watch a prior video that I uploaded. Just search YouTube for Stock Curry SNPR. Next up is TGLS. This is Technoglass. They're a glass manufacturer for residential and commercial buildings. Jeremy with financial education is intrigued by TGLS. The forward PE ratio is 16.06, which is normal. Jeremy doesn't like to buy stocks that have already run up, but TGLS is seeing increasing revenue growth and increasing profits every quarter. So this might make a good long-term hold growth stock. Next up is TTCF. This is Tattooed Chef. They are a plant-based foods company and a competitor to Beyond Meat. Jeremy with financial education discussed why TTCF has run up so fast over the past 4 days. He thinks this is partially due to short sellers covering. So let's test that theory. Taking a look at Fintel, we can see how TTCF has had some short covering, but only a very small number. In fact, even after a few shorts return shares, there are only 25,000 shares left available to borrow. Now we might see more shares get returned over the next few days because the borrow fee is all the way up to 206%. That makes absolutely no sense. The most a short seller can make on TTCF would be a 100% gain, and that is if the stock goes to zero. So why would you pay a 200% borrow fee? Of course, the borrow fee is an annual percentage rate and not a daily percentage rate, so you won't actually pay that 200% unless you hold it for an entire year. But still, that is one of the highest borrow fees I've ever seen on any stock ever. Now taking a look at Ortex for confirmation, we can see how the utilization rate is at 100%, which matches up with what we saw on Fintel. And amazingly, TTCF has a massive 9.16 days to cover. That means TTCF could run up as much as 916% during a short squeeze. So no, this most recent run-up has not been all due to short sellers covering. In fact, no short sellers have really covered TTCF. So the answer as to why TTCF has been running up is actually Jeremy's second thought. and that is that large institutions are buying. And as you can see on the order flow tab, that is absolutely correct. While there aren't any large orders, there are quite a few medium-sized orders. And those orders are 27% inflow and 18% outflow. So this most recent run-up is due to large institutions buying TTCF. If this keeps up, it will trigger a short squeeze. And if TTCF short squeezes, it could go up as high as $186. Next up is VRTF. This is VRTV. They're a business-to-business distributor of print and publishing products and services. Fundamentally, VRTF looks great. The PE ratio is only 12.79 and the price-to-sales ratio is only 0.19, which is very low. Now, the recent run-up may have been largely due to inflation. Since this company mainly sells paper products, which are made out of lumber, they may have seen huge profit gains due to inflation on lumber prices. Once lumber prices go back down, this company's profits might drop as well. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and get a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And if you were looking for a broker to trade with, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull is going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Now, if you're not a US resident or if you're looking to trade OTC penny stocks, then I recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is a great trading platform. They have highly discounted trading throughout the world, and both Webull and Interactive Brokers offer the full pre-market and after-hours trading from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I do have material connections with both Webull and Interactive Brokers, so whenever you sign up for either one of those, not only are you getting a great broker to trade with, you're also helping me to continue to produce these great videos for you. Now, finally, I want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.